90% silver is hot right now, my friends. Grab it if you can. I'm going to explain what's going on at the shop today. Help me out with the thumbs up. That gets the views out to more and more people. Let's wake more people up with the thumbs up, my friends. Let's get them educated. Let's bring more people on this channel. Stop the Melt campaign. If you are a big supporter, maybe a little supporter of Stop the Melt, help me out with that thumbs up. That really does help the channel grow. We're about 68 subscribers away from 8,000 subscribers. Thank you all very, very much. Let's get into this video right now. Yesterday, I reported we had $300 face of 1964, 90% silver candy hats come to the door. Well, we got about $50 face left as the time of the recording of this video. I came home for lunch. That is what we have left in stock. We have already gone through about $450 of Roosevelt silver dimes this morning. Had a phone call last night. This guy keeps coming in and purchasing silver every now and then. Mostly 90% silver. He's been trying to get his sister. She lives in a separate house, of course. Been trying to get the sister and her husband on board of start stacking. They're more into stocks, couple meme coins, whatever. And they've been blowing him off really for about two years. Saying you're crazy, you don't know what you're talking about. I guess he was watching CNBC, I guess the story is, and they were talking about gold yesterday. And then, well, she can't afford gold, but she can afford silver. And so she started talking to her brother about it. Brother told her, look, I'll take you to the coin shop. I'll help you out. You want education? I'm going to educate you about silver and gold. So he calls me up last night. Says, Chris, I need to make an appointment with you guys. I says, okay. And he explained the situation what I just explained. He says, any way you can do it like first thing in the morning, meeting this morning. I was like, yeah, I got time. I said, how about we do it about 8 o'clock, but about an hour before the shop opens up. He says, perfect. I said, you guys like coffee? Yeah, I said, I don't know if the donuts will be there in time, but I says, the donuts will be there about 8:30, so the older guys were bringing the donuts. I said, so you don't have to worry about eating, you can have a donut if you want to. So the daughter comes in, not the daughter, excuse me, the sister comes in with the brother. And we started talking. And she says, well, I kind of like the candy design. I said, well, we got some in right now. I said, we got $300 face came in yesterday. That's the number one seller for the shop right now. The 64 candy half dollars like you see on your screen. She says, okay, I'll start there. And he said, well, you also want probably some 1 ounce rounds, 1 ounce coins, 5 ounce bars. So we end up selling her $50 face of the 64s. We ended up selling her 5 ounce silver bars. The ones we got in the other day. Yeah, the ones we got in the other day. We jumped the price up to 99 cents over spot. She was happy as heck with that price. This is how you educate people, my friends. It's once it gets on mainstream media, once they talk a little bit nibbits, once your local news starts picking up these stories. You think your silver and gold are going to be a variable. I've been warning about 90% silver for a while. People still don't believe me when I say we're having trouble sourcing it. Because people see it on this website, that website, in your local coin shops. I get that portion. You're not seeing, most people are not seeing behind the curtain yet. That is the problem right now. People laugh. Oh, there's plenty out there, coin shop, Chris. My shop has plenty. So-and-so website has plenty. Well, I'm telling what I'm trying to get to you folks is what I'm telling you is behind the scenes, the wholesalers don't have it. So when that inventory is exhausted, where do you think the inventory is going to come from? Where do you think the inventory is going to come from when another online deal is out of this? Another online deal is out of that? Why do you think I've been following this market for this week will be 58 weeks in a row? Every single Saturday, I do the 90% silver market watch. This Saturday is 58 weeks in a row. I've not missed a week. I'm not going to plan to miss a week doing this. This is so important. This is my passion right here. 90% silver is going to be your buttable material when the crap hits the fan. And that's the trouble. A lot of people have not woken up yet. America has not woken up to the dollar is going away. The dollar is eroding in value. A lot of Americans not seeing that yet. When is the average American person actually going to wake the heck up and find out and say, my dollar does not go as far as it used to? They might think about it. People complain about prices going up all the time. They're not relating your dollar's losing value. Your dollar's losing value every single turn of the corner. That is what's going on. So do you protect yourselves? Get some 90% silver. Get yourself some silver. Get yourself some gold if you're able to afford to do so. Cost average your stacks. You hear me say that all the time. I just picked up another a Fuji dollar from eBay. I got a little right at melt, right at spot. $42 and change. Maybe spot's a little bit less than that right now. But I did a little over spot. Didn't have one anyways. It was a cool piece. I'll show it when I get it. That's how I shop, my friends. I cost average. I'm looking for the deals. That's how I do it. I look for the deals. Check out channel sponsor Pimex. Right now, they do have Roosevelt Silver Dimes in stock. They have a great price on Sunshine Mint 5-ounce silver bars. You want a better price, check out the 10 to 19 price. If you're able to do it, grab them up now before the silver is gone. There will be a panic. There will be a panic. And I don't know when that people will set in and everything be wiped off the shelves. People forgot what happened back in 2023. Maybe not all of us. People forgot the inventory levels were not there. If there's something you want, don't sit on your hands, please. Get it now. Get it now. Yeah, we got a little bit of dip. This is just minor. This is a minor dip. We're okay here still. We're not going back to 25. We're not going back to 30, my friends. I don't think we're going below 38. I don't think even we're going to go below 40 at this point. That's just my opinion. Get stacking as you can. Buy as you can. Convert as you can. It don't matter if you can only afford a couple 64 coins, 40% silver coins, 35% war nickels. You know, some people don't like the 35% war nickels or the 40% silver halves. At the end of the day, it's still silver. You've seen the value of them go up. You know, I got a couple emails yesterday from another YouTube video. I like the channel. I'm not going to call the channel out. I hope nobody calls the channel out. Please don't do that. I like the channel. I don't like the viewpoints on his idea now of 35% war nickels or 40% silver halves. He's looking at one viewpoint. Selling it back to the coin shop. Taking it as a loss. Well, yeah. Depending on when you bought it, you're going to take a loss on those two type of coins. This is about bartering situations, my friends. Then he took other videos, put him into that clip from past views he's done before to make it look one viewpoint. Yeah, you send it to the smelters, you're going to lose. But he's using one viewpoint. He's not looking at when silver goes to $80, $90, $100 an ounce. The dollar is collapsed. It's going to be about the bottom situation. Like I've said before, you don't want to give up more silver than you need to for your transaction. I'm not saying you're going to be able to go to Walmart or Target and getting your silver, your services or goods, right? That's not what I'm saying here. I'm talking about peer-to-peer, farmer-to-farmer, farmer's market. That is what I'm saying. We're going back that way, my friends. It's happening now on a smaller scale. Farmers know about silver and gold. Farmers are willing to take silver and gold as payment. Maybe some of your localized stores are willing to take silver and gold as payment. Maybe they're taking some goldbacks. We got a long way to go with the goldbacks. I get that. We got a long way to go. But once people realize what the silver is, because we have been lied to after 1964. That paper is money. Currencies, fiat currency is money. It's a joke. It's totally a joke. They can print and print and print this all day long. That devaluates your dollar every single day. That just erodes your value. Look at your prices just from 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. Look at the prices you were paying back then. Look at the prices you're paying now. Convert that into silver prices. It's hold its value. Gold has hold its value. Silver is up 46% year to date. Gold's up 38% year to date. Where do you think the true inflation number really is? You really buy 3.1% inflation? I call a bunch of hogwash on that, BS on that, and I'm trying to keep the language clean. But this is what the government wants us to believe. Silver, they don't want us to have silver. They don't want us to have gold. They want total control, my friends. We got to try to educate everybody that we know. And I know it's hard. I get it. They call us names. They call us every single name in the book, right? They think we're crazy. Well, one of these days, and I don't know how fast it's going to happen, people will wake up. And it's going to be too late for some people. Your online dealers are not going to have it. Your coin shops are not going to have it. Your pawn shops are not going to have it. It's going to be in the strongest hands in America. That's why I'm so worried about $50 silver. Because people get this in their minds. $50 silver. Oh boy. It's going to go right back down again. Look, it's happened twice. And there's two reasons for it. Which we're not going to dive into on those reasons today. We know what the reasons are. Alright? $50 is not the same purchasing power it was back in 2011. $50 is not the same purchasing power you had back in 1980. $50 went a lot further in 1980. $50 went a lot further in 2011 than it does today. You're really going to be content with paperback. Selling your silver, selling your silver at $50 an ounce. Let's say they gave you $50 an ounce. You're really going to be content with that. When milk could be doubled in price where it is now. Gas could be doubled in price where it is now. Really, you're really going to be content with $50 silver price. I'm not selling it, my friends. I had to sell some back in last holiday season. Sold over 100 ounces. I sold it for $28 an ounce. Look at where silver is today. We're not even a year ago that happened to me. I had an emergency come up. I didn't have cash put away. $28 an ounce. Where's silver at today? You think I'm joking here? I'm not joking. I look back, I'm like, Crap. Why didn't I have cash saved up? Why didn't I have emergency fund built up? It pains me today that I did that to myself. But lesson learned. I learned that lesson. I'm trying to help people not make that same mistake I made. You gotta have a little bit of emergency cash right now. Yes, we're still using cash right now. I get it. But this is going away, my friends. You need as much as silver, gold, a mix of both if you want, in your stacks. Not about the dollar anymore. Well, how much did I make? I hear this all the time. I made XYZ. I made XYZ on this gold coin. I made $1,000 on this. Well, okay. When did you buy it? Count inflation in. Then how much have you really made? Silver and gold is the only type of money out there. This is why we gotta stop the melt. This is why we gotta stop the melt, my friends. Stop these coin shops and pawn shops. Got to stop burning real money. You know, I don't get it. If you and I cannot afford to buy something, then we don't buy it. But these coin shops can bring in the money, bring in real money, send it off to the smelter, and get this back. Does that make any sense? Does that make any sense? Then what happens is that 90% silver, that gold, whatever they're smelting that day, it's gone forever in that form. Especially 90% silver, because it's not coming back ever again. It's gone, it's gone. How are they going to make more this or a stable coin payment when you keep melting this down? When you keep burning down your local inventory? The better way is sell it to a wholesaler. Okay, let's say the wholesaler pays a little bit less. Take that little bit of a hit then. Pay less out to the public then. If that's what you really want to do to it. Sell it to the wholesaler. Chances are, some of those coins may stay localized. Some of those coins may go across the country. But they may come back into the market, back to your own coin shop. And then you can do it all over again. Make it a little bit more. Stop the melt. You take a little bit of loss today. If that is the truly case, you're protecting history. You're protecting your business for years down the road. You know, but everybody wants to make the biggest money they can make right now. Well, I hope these coin shops and pawn shops really eat their words when they say we're melting everything down. It's going to come back to bite them. These will be the coin shops. I've said it before on this channel. These will be the coin shops. Are going to be the first ones to say, I have no more 90% silver. Remember those lines, my friends. Remember where you heard this from. They're not thinking past their gosh darn nose. They're just thinking about today. They're not thinking about the future. They're not thinking 3, 4, 5 years down the road. And that's the problem with America. Everybody's in a rush to go nowhere. To go nowhere. You're hungry. Oh yeah, you can go to a fast food joint. Boom, boom. Out in 3 minutes, right? Everybody's in a rush. Take a step back. Take a step back. Look around. Open your eyes. And see what really the heck is going on in this country. We got a government shutdown potentially going to happen at the end of the month. I hope both sides can come together. No, both sides are blaming each other. Let's put it that way. It's horrible what's going on. It's just horrible what's going on. All these shootings. It's horrible. It's just horrible, horrible. Relax, people. That's my message. Relax. Relax. If you got questions about silver, gold, or platinum, you can reach out to me. We got to be prepared. We got to stockpile. Food. Anything you need. And you say, Chris, I can't do it all at once. I don't do it all at once, my friends. I don't stockpile food all at the same time. You think people have so much money? No, we got to do it when we get paid. A little bit at a time. A little bit at a time. It adds up. Just like with your stacks of silver and gold. It adds up over time. It's not going to be a flip of a switch and all of a sudden you're going to have 500 ounces of silver in your lap. It don't work that way. It takes time. It takes resources. It takes a little bit of hard work. You know, people ask me, I'll end it here. People ask me, well, how do I make any extra money? All right, well, I don't know your lifestyles. Okay? Some people can't do a lot. Some people are disabled. They can't do a lot. I get it. So, everybody can do something. You know, you could make your own YouTube videos for one. Check. If you got time, why not do Uber Eats, Grubhub? Make a little bit of extra money that way. If it's feasible, profitable, even though with the gas prices. You can always try it. Alright, you can try it for a couple months. I wouldn't recommend driving people around with Uber or Lyft. But Uber Eats, Grubhub, if you live in the biggest area, it might be not a bad gig to make some extra money. Yeah, you can make your own YouTube videos. It takes time to start making money on YouTube. Look it up, my friends. You can do it too. If I can do it, you can do it. It don't have to be about silver and gold. It can be about anything. It is hard work. Some people don't think it's hard work. Trying to have a set every single day. And no, I don't change my setup every single video. But trying to do this every single day, twice a day, working 30 hours a week plus, it's not easy. It's not easy. But I'm here trying to help people out. If you have items around your house that you're not using, you don't need it anymore. You're never going to need it again. Maybe you were into arts and crafts. You don't need all this arts and crafts stuff no more. Sell it. Get that cash. That way you can have more silver and gold. You know, think about stuff. But when you're selling something, you got to really make sure. You sell anything, you better make sure you're never going to need that item again. I'm just saying that. Because it's happened to me. I've sold stuff. Say, oh crap. Now I need it. 5 years later. 5 months later. I needed that. Now I gotta go get another one. Think about that way too. Just because you haven't used something in 3 years. Really think about, am I really gonna need this ever again? You know, everybody can do something extra. You know, for the ones that have bottle deposits on cans, ask your neighbors if they're willing to donate the bottles to you. Ask your neighborhood if they're willing to donate the bottles and cans to you. Some people don't care about, you know, the bottle the deposits. If you don't have bottle deposits and you have a recycling plant next to you, close by to you, ask them to save your aluminum cans. So I'll come here once a week to pick up your aluminum cans from you. Take that money and get silver and gold with it. Any ideas to make a little bit of extra money? Right now. The dollar. Yes, we're still calling that money. I wish we don't call that money, but it is. Any extra thing you can think about doing. It's going to put some more silver or gold in your stacks, my friends. That's all this is about. Trying to get ahead. Trying to get one step ahead. And it's hard this day and age trying to get one step ahead. Trust me. I just got notified from the park we lived in. We got to pay another $375 for fire hydrants. And all of a sudden, after all these years in this park, they didn't have a pool roof. We got to pay for a friggin' pool roof now. But it comes out of everybody's pocket. All right? It's crazy. Living in an HOA is crazy. But this is what they do. They want something, but they expect everybody to pay for it. It's a shame, but it is what it is. So, it's due at the end of October. I got the money to do it. It's not the problem. It's the fact that they don't give you enough time to pay it. That's the problem right there. So, every time you think you're going to get ahead, it seems like you take 2 steps back. I get it. But this is what I'll urge people, again, stack as you can. That's the crucial part right there. Don't be that person that buys too much, trying to keep up with the Joneses, and have to cash out in 3 months because you bought too much at one time. I see it every single week, my friends. Somebody comes and buys too much. 3, 4, 5 weeks later, they're back and selling a little bit of it because they got too much at one time. You know, if you're going into a coin shop, let's say, and you get 50 ounces of silver. I'm using this as an example. Okay? I'm using that in an example. But you really only can afford 40 ounces. Go 5 ounces lower than that. Whatever you think you can afford at the time, cut it down a little bit. Make sure you do your books right. It's not financial advice. Don't overdo it. Don't overdo it. Check out channel sponsor Pinbacks, my friends. Call Michael. Call Brian up. They're there to help you. How many online bowling dealers do you know? You're going to be able to call them, and chances are, you're going to talk to the owners themselves. I don't know anything. I don't know any other online dealer you can do that with. Pinbacks is there for you, my friends. They've been very supportive of this channel. Let them know that I sent you. Thank you, channel sponsor Pinbacks, for sponsoring this channel, Coin Shop Chris. Thank you to the viewer out there, because it's not possible without you. I've gone on too long. I've ranted on too long. Coin Shop Chris is out. Thanks for watching.